Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. We are really very honored to have Congressman Raskin to lead us through his legislation, which is so very important. So I hope you will prepare yourselves for a civics lesson or a presentation on the Constitution of the United States. The 25th Amendment to the Constitution was ratified in 1967 after the assassination of President Kennedy, with strong bipartisan support. Members of Congress have a duty to take all necessary action to preserve continuity of government and protect the stability and integrity of our democracy for the future. That is why today, again, it is my honor to welcome Congressman Jamie Raskin of Maryland, a constitutional scholar, as he introduces legislation to establish a commission on presidential capacity to discharge the duties and the powers and duties of the office. This is not about President Trump. He will face the judgment of the voters, but he shows the need for us to create a process for future presidents. Throughout America's history, our leaders have created and strengthened guardrails in the Constitution to ensure stability and continuity of government in times of crisis. The 25th Amendment creates a path for preserving stability if a president suffers a crippling physical or mental problem and is, quote, in the amendment, unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office and transfers his powers. Specifically, Section 4 of the amendment empowers Congress to set up an independent body to confront such a crisis. Congress has a constitutional duty to lay out the process by which a president's incapacity and the president of any party is determined. This bill honors the duty by creating a standing commission of top former executive officials and medical experts selected in a bipartisan, bicameral way. A president's fitness for office must be determined by science and facts. This legislation applies to future presidents, but we are reminded of the necessity of action by the health of the current president. With this bill, the Congress honors our oath to support and defend the Constitution and protect the American people, and we uphold our responsibility to preserve our republic for generations to come. Now it is my honor to yield to the distinguished gentleman from Maryland, a constitutional authority by teaching it, honoring it, and again, legislating to honor our Constitution. Congressman Raskin, thank you for your leadership.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much. I'm honored by your words, and thank you for inviting me to present.
Again, this isn't about any judgment anybody has about somebody's behavior. This is about a diagnosis, a professional medical diagnosis. Let me just back up for a second just to put personal here. When this happened, it was after the assassination of President Kennedy. And you may not know this, you weren't born yet, but there was and Lyndon Johnson became president, there was no vice president. And if anything had happened to President Johnson and his health was not the greatest, the Speaker of the House would have become the President of the United States. So this sets up how you would elect a vice president, how a vice president would be chosen by the president, but voted upon by the House and Senate. And of course, that's what happened with Gerald Ford. He was, after Spiro Agnew, all that, he was appointed the vice president and very popular in the Congress on both sides of the aisle, both sides of the Capitol. I love the story about how that happened because on his 90th birthday, Gerald Ford came to the House, which is where he sprang from. He was the minority leader. And I said, Mr. President,
Donald Trump.